Okay, let's talk about YouTube. Why did I get into RC cars? Obviously, every young kid gets remote control cars or little Hot Wheels cars. And I was a kid who got Hot Wheels cars for Christmas. I loved them. I had the sets, had the 50, then I had the 100, then I had the 200. So, mom and dads out there, when you getting your kids these Hot Wheel cars, just understand where this thing could lead. It could lead to getting into the hobby like I did. So, I did 28 years in the military, raised a family. Great time. I'm now retired, and now post retirement, I have a new job, but I'm also doing remote control cars on the side. But I'm trying to grow the community where I am. Right, everybody's not gonna go to a racetrack and race a car. Sometimes you just want to go in the backyard and bash it, have fun, right? So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be somebody who could just go outside and have fun. But it's really fun. It's really fun. And I wanted to just have more people join me in the community to race cars. So what happened to me was I got my first race car, right? Got this guy right here. I gotta get it off screen. Um, as an adult, this is my first remote control car. It's the Losi Speed T, right? Looks good, huh? So I decided I was gonna go. I went out of town and I was in Norfolk, Virginia. And on base, they had a hobby shop. I went to the hobby shop. I saw this on the wall. I had to have it. It was expensive, sure, but it is what it is. I bring it home, drive it around, but I'm by myself. I don't have anybody to run with in the neighborhood. So it kind of gets old. I put it on a shelf. Few years later, buddy's son calls. He says, "Hey, Uncle Hines, I heard you have a couple RC cars." I said, "Yeah, man." I shipped it off to him. So I shipped off the car, and a few months later, he calls me back. He's like, "Hey, Uncle Hines, do you mind?" That's what he said to me. "Do you mind if I sell your car because I need the money for my real car?" And I said, "Listen, man, instead of selling a car to get money for your real car, how about I just give you money for your real car? Send me that car back." So a few weeks after that, get home and in the mail, this car is sitting at my door in the box. Open the box, and the car is in there, the battery's in there, the remote is in there. And I haven't driven this car in like 5 years, maybe. So I'm excited. It's like Christmas all over again, right? So I take the car out of the box. I put the battery in, all the batteries, all the things, all the shits, and I'm outside running the car. What happens to me at that moment? Neighborhood kid comes out with his car, and I think he had a 3S Vortex. So he pops that thing out, and he's killing me. His car is running up and down the street. Mine is not. I don't know what the problem is because I haven't ridden it in like 6, 7 years. So I don't know if the car is broken, if it's a slow car, if it's the battery. So I take it to the local hobby shop and I say, "Hey man, this car used to be super fast, but the neighbor's kid just smoked me in the neighborhood bash. And I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't be shown up by the 12-year-old in the neighborhood." So he said, "Okay, let me hook you up." So they put a new ESC in there, a new motor in there, a new radio control in there, and all I needed was the battery, right? So now I got the car, I got the remote controller, and all I need is a battery. So I start down the battery path. And this is where this video is gonna go. Ready to run cars are just that. You don't have to put them together. You don't even need an experience in remote control cars. You just go to your local hobby shop or go online. You can order from your favorite place to order stuff. And you can order a remote control car. But it says RTR. What that means is ready to run. And all you need to do is provide batteries. But what happens when you need to provide batteries? There's a lot of things that go into that. So let's talk about that for a second. We'll put this down right here. And First thing we have to talk about in batteries is battery storage. How do we store batteries? So we have this bag is what you'll get if you order many different batteries off a bag. Low price of $7.99, something like that, maybe $12.99. You'll get in there and you'll get a battery. This is important because Lipo, which are an amazing lithium polymer batteries, are amazing as far as how much juice they can store and how much they can charge. But they come in all different sizes, in all different configurations due to plug sizes that they need, right? What kind of plugs you need on them, what kind of size do you need? So this battery is what we call a 4S, and this battery is what we call a 4S. How can both of these be a 4S battery? Well, it's about the capacity, right? So this one says 10,000 milliamp. So think about a bucket. How big is the bucket? This bucket is 10,000 milliamp. This bucket is 4,200 milliamp. So obviously this bucket is more than half the size of this bucket. And it makes sense in the size, right? It makes sense in the size. So you have to figure out what application you're going to get, meaning what car you have and what battery is going to go into your car. We need to figure all that out. So you got to buy the battery for the ready to run, and then you'll need batteries for the remote controller. Usually a AA battery. Some manufacturers give you batteries in the box, some don't. But either way, it's a good idea to get chargeable AA batteries and you have yourself a charger for your batteries. Also, you need a charger for your bigger batteries, right? So these batteries take a charger. These batteries take a charger, and that's what this looks like. So if you get a charger, you'll have the balancing, and then you have the charge port. So depending on what size battery this is, so this is, again, a 4S battery, 6,000 milliamp. So this one has less capacity than this one. So you take the lead for the balancer and you put it here. And the reason why you need the balancer is because inside of here are 4 cells. Each one individually charges. So the balancer makes sure that they charge at the same rate. But you also have to make sure that at the end of charging, when you're done with your bash, you're done with your runs, how will you store your batteries? So you have the batteries, you have a battery charger, then you have to store your batteries, right? So a couple different ways I chose to do it is to use a safe that I had around the house that I really wasn't using. And inside the safe, we have batteries, right? Just an easy way to store them. So my technique is the batteries that I'm not using for a while. When I say a while, anything more than 4 days is a while. If you're not going to use them for more than 4 days, you should balance them back to a storage charge. You can do that using the same remote control or the same charger that you use to charge the battery with. So you could charge the battery and then you can drain the battery, and you drain the battery to a storage charge. And then when I got out of batteries for that, I had to use this. So this guy obviously is an ammo box. So I use the ammo box as well for battery storage. So I have batteries in this guy as well. So if we recapping, I bought the first car. I didn't drive it for like 6 or 7 years. I sent it away to my buddy's kid. He sends it back. I take that car out to see a neighbor because I was just putzing around. I didn't know the neighbor's kid was going to come out, but he did. He smoke checked me. I went to the hobby shop, got my car situated because they updated all of the electronics I need a new battery. And then it just started. It just snowballed. This hobby, I mean, it's so much fun, guys. So the first car I bought after I got the Speed T all situated, first car I bought after this one was the Creighton 6S. So I bought the Creighton 6S. Then I modified that with a Castle Creations XLX2 800 kV motor. So this power plant looks like a soda can inside of this car that's way too small for the electronics that's in it. Way too small for the electronics that's in it. So I decided I was gonna get a bigger car. So then I went up. The Outcast 8S was on sale. Bought the Outcast 8S on sale. Then I updated that power plant. Then I bought another Creighton to leave without messing with the power plant, the EXB version, Extreme Bash. It's supposed to be a little more rigid and ready to tumble, as some of the videos you see in my cars tumble and they keep running. Then I bought a used car off a buddy. It was the Felony. And you'll see the Felony because now it has the C8 Corvette body on it. So that's my Felony. I don't drive that as much because you need a long, straight, pretty smooth road. And it goes super fast. My Felony goes over 80 miles an hour. But when you crash big. So I don't do much with the Felony. It's kind of my shelf queen. I just like the way it looks on the shelf. Then I got a used Creighton 8S. So that's 3 Creightons. Then I updated the Creighton 8S with the new G2 Max 5 with the 800 kV motor, which allows it to go to 12S. So doing all this moving around cars, buying new cars, bought used cars, bought new motors, bought used motors. I was taking all that stuff to the hobby shop, And I felt like the hobby shop wasn't giving me a turnaround time fast enough. I was too impatient. I was too impatient with the hobby shop. So then I started getting on YouTube and consuming how to fix the cars myself. So then I had to get tools, had to get the right tools. So I started accumulating tools, and then we accumulate the batteries. So I would like to talk about my battery voyage, if you will. So if you would just hang out with me for a moment while I start to pull out my batteries. I'm gonna pull out one of each. Pretty much I have 2 of each because of the way the cars sit. So the 8S rigs take 2 4S batteries. So one battery sits on one side and the other battery sits over here like that. So all the batteries I have, I buy them in 2s, right? So I got those. And then I showed you this earlier. And in this bag, we have these. The 700s are here. 7,000, excuse me. And then we also have this guy. And I think I have some more downstairs. I'm all over the place. And then this guy. All right, so why do I have so many batteries? You have so many batteries, Rob. Why do you have so many batteries? The reason we have so many batteries is because batteries don't last forever. I think we talked about it earlier. If you don't store your batteries correctly and you leave them with a charge and you just sit them on the shelf and you forget about them, they will go bad. They will puff up and they will not be usable anymore. Telltale signs to know if a battery is bad, if it puffs out, like these are obviously squared off, right? You can see how squared off this guy is. If it's rounded, it's bad. If it's coming apart up here, it's probably bad. And a good way to know is if you have something like this. This allows me to know what the charge is on the battery. So I take this guy and I plug it in. Plug it in, easier said than done. So you plug it in and it turns on. You see the battery voltage, 3.8. So 3.8 is where you want to be on a stored battery, right? A full ready to go battery is like a 4.2, and a battery that's below charge is probably like 3.6. Most of these cars have equipment on board to tell you when you low voltage. When you low voltage, you'll have what's called a low voltage cutoff. Low voltage cutoff will make the car just turn off. And then when it happens to you the first time, you're going to freak out. But I don't want you to freak out when you get to low voltage cutoff. It's just the car saving itself from ruining the battery. If you're out in the field and you're just trying to get back to your vehicle, all you need to do then is, if you're out in the field and you need to get back to your vehicle because you have a low voltage cutoff, you turn the power off on the vehicle, turn the power back on, and then the car will boot up. This is not time to start bashing all over again. It's just so you don't have to carry the car home. You could just drive it back nice and slow. You've probably seen a couple of those times on my videos as well. So next thing we're going to talk about is these ginormous batteries, right? So the big ones here, 22.2 volts. This is a 6S battery. So when I got the used Creighton and I put the new power system in at the G2, it allows for 12S. So I put two of these giant batteries in there. Compared, this is a 6S battery. This is a 4S battery. It's way bigger. This is a 4S battery. It's bigger than that. This one is a 4S battery. It's bigger than that. So 6S batteries are pretty huge. So the Creighton takes two of these big giant guys, right? Two of these big giant guys. Now remember I told you that I had the little Creighton and I put that big monster system in it. Well, that big monster system allows for 8S, where it's supposed to take 6S. But the car is only so big, so you can only put so much batteries in there because it won't fit physically. So that's why I bought these little ones, which is 4S. You put two of them in there, it'll get you 8S, and then the car is happy. The batteries are small. The runtime is small, so it's only a speed run. You can't be out there a long time, but that'll make that car go at 8S power. This one, the SMC, is probably one of the better batteries that I have, and I acknowledge that. This one is wrapped in this rubber. It feels great. It looks great. The craftsmanship is perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. The Z, this is my old reliable. I have more Z's than anything else. The reason why I have more Z's than anything else, they're reliable, and they're relatively inexpensive. And you can catch them on sale on Amazon all the time. They usually sell them two at a time. Economies of scale. Buy two, even if you need one, because things happen to batteries all the time. This is the CNHL, China Hobby Line. These guys, marketing is the best in the world. China Hobby Line will send you an email every day telling you that they have a sale. And all they do is remix the numbers. I feel like it's always the same price. They just make you feel like you're getting a sale. It's the same price. They're good, but you're not getting the sale. They're the same price. So just remember that when you get the China Hobby Lines. Another pack of Z's. And then if you saw my 4S Outcast video, which is my newest rig, I had to buy this. Even though all these others are 4S. None of them, 4S, this is even 4S. None of them fit the Outcast. So you see how small this is? So when you buy in batteries for your rigs, please make sure that you look at the dimensions of the battery tray because they won't all fit. So all of this, 4S and 6S, all the batteries I have, 4S and 6S. But the very first car that got me going as an adult, this guy takes 3S. What? How did I not see that coming? So, what happened to the first 3S? The first 3S battery, I left it in there. I didn't storage charge it, and it became no good. Again, the reason how I know it was no good is because when I hooked it up to this to see the power in it, it didn't register all of the cells. So it should register each cell individually what it has. This one only registered 2 cells, which means the third cell was bad, which means the battery is bad. So keep this on you to make sure you don't run it too low. And what's too low? Below 3.6. What's storage? 3.8. Was fully charged? 4.2. So to get this guy running, because ultimately I'm going to do a giveaway. That's where we're at. We're doing a giveaway, people. We're doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway on the Losi Speed T. This thing will hit 70 miles an hour. It's an incredible 2-wheel drive. It looks good. It's got the chrome package on it. Got the big dualies in the back. This thing is phenomenal. I love it. I even had to put weights in the front to keep the front down because all it wants to do is wheelie. This thing coming down the street is ridiculous. So, what do we have to do to get it running? Man, when Kevin Talbot says it's Christmas every day, I'm paying for that though. I'm not sponsored by YouTube. I'm not sponsored by any of these batteries. I just call it as I see it. Batteries are batteries. Keep up with them. Make sure you put a storage charge on them when you're not using them. Make sure you don't drain them past 3.6-ish when you're running them. Make sure you don't charge them past 4.2 when you're charging them. They should last you, I'll say all mine last me about over a year, and that's using them pretty good. So I run my remote control cars at least 4 times a week. I'm pretty consistent. So we have a new battery coming in as a way to get my oh wow, let's open this box up. Oh, here we go. So open up the box, unveil it. You see it's nice and small compared to the other one I have. Same company, 4S, 3S. You see it's smaller, right? So this is going to fit in here. Let's put that down with the straps. That's going to strap in there. What do you say? Perfect fit? Perfect fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this thing ready to go. And in our next video, we'll run a Speed T, show you how it looks on the road. And then we'll set up a giveaway to give away the Losi Speed T. Now, I'm not getting paid by YouTube, but I'm trying to give the people what they want. And this is time for somebody else to enjoy it, someone else to get into the hobby, which is why I'm doing the channel in the first place, to get others in the hobby. And getting you your first remote control car in your hand so you can feel the power, the exhilaration, being outside with family and friends, meeting new people. Almost all my videos, I have a people gather around me. I don't mind talking to them about the hobby, the sport, whatsoever. So I'm gonna give one lucky viewer a dope ride to step to, right? A dope ride to step to. So from a 5'7", tell a friend to tell a friend. Peace.